Hey everyone, Shebby here, and welcome back to our next episode of AEW Dark. Right, our last show before our Double or Nothing pay-per-view, and I think it's time we saw our world champion and our number one contender in action. So yes, Jon Moxley and Pac tonight, both in action. And everyone, hold your excitement in. Eli Manning is back. Yep, he's lost 2 out of 2 so far, Eli Manning. The complete opposite of Pac, who is the only undefeated man in AEW, of course. He is your AEW champion and will be defending that belt against Jon Moxley at Double or Nothing in a few days' time. But tonight he has a chance to showcase his ability once again, taking out the young man Eli Manning. Great chance for Pac to build up that all-important momentum. Oh, just slamming the face of Eli Manning into the mat. And Manning so far got absolutely zero offense. Pac is in firm control of this one. Yeah, so as I said earlier on, we'll be seeing tonight in action Pac, also the number one contender, Jon Moxley. We're going to see the Dark Order, Brodie Lee, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson in action. Jungle Boy is in action as well. And then your main event of the evening, Triple Threat Hardcore Championship match. Pentagon Jr. makes his second championship defense, this time against Jimmy Havoc and Andy Williams, of course, the Butcher from The Butcher and the Blade, in a triple threat match here tonight. Armbar here locked in by Pac, and Eli Manning does well to survive it. Chop across the chest by Pac and taking Manning down, now wrenching back at the arm. Well, really wrenching that arm, and Pac seems intent not just to beat this guy, but to cause some damage in the process. He's worked on that arm quite a lot with the arm bar, and now it's actually the other arm, isn't it? He did the arm bar on one arm, and now he's wrenching back at the other. Pac now sending Eli Manning into the corner, flattening the referee in the process, and Manning taking Pac down. Wow. Pac might live to regret that little transgression, giving Eli Manning the opportunity here to recuperate, and now Manning taking... Oh, wow, if Eli Manning beats the AEW champion Pac here, this is going to be the biggest story in wrestling history. This will be in the dark side of the ring in years to come. But, well, let's ignore that now, because Pac's just destroyed Eli Manning with that Saito suplex. Manning back, though, taking Pac down. Pac's back up on his feet. Nice. Head scissors takedown. Grabs the legs. 2. Only a 2 count. And Pac just a boot in the head of Eli Manning as well. If there's one thing you don't necessarily want to do, it's annoy Pac. He has quite a vicious streak. Especially now, since his WWE days. He has become a very, very vicious man. And there's the Poison Rana, that reverse Hurricanrana. Now Pac springs off the ropes. Oh, nice boot right to the back of the head of Eli Manning. And look where Manning is positioned. Now, I thought he might go for the old Rings of Saturn or the Brutalizer. But instead, just locking in this reverse chin lock. Slowing the match down once again, waning the energy of Eli Manning away. And here does come the Brutalizer, locked in, that Rings of Saturn submission hold. And Eli Manning has to tap. He has no choice. And that is all she wrote here for tonight. Pac with the win, which makes him 7-0 now in the rankings. The only undefeated man continues that undefeated streak even further, while Eli Manning suffers his 3rd defeat in a row here in AEW. And I told you about that evil streak in Pac, didn't I? And it looks like he's going to be showcasing it more here, just stamping on the chest of Eli Manning. Message sent. And here we go then, the number one contender for the AEW Championship. Jon Moxley goes one-on-one against the man bottom of the AEW rankings, of course, in El Botcho. No reason why he's called El Botcho. You know, it's not because he looks distinctly like Mystico, formerly known as Sin Cara. I love the he's got like big elbow pads on just in case. You know, he knows he's gonna crash and burn at some point. So he needs the elbow pads just in case he damages himself. Mox now slamming the head of El Botcho into the mat, brings him back up to a standing base. And a big sit-out scoop slam hooks the leg. Moxley would love this win. He's just seen the champion Pac win his match pretty easily. Moxley would love to continue his momentum as well. It's going to be a cracking match, that one, you know. Moxley versus Pac. AEW Championship match. It's going to be amazing. Looking forward to that as Moxley heads up to the top. Looking with a big elbow, but wow. Botcho rolls out the way and slams Moxley's head into the mat. This is interesting. We saw this last time as well with Eli Manning in the previous match, getting a little bit of offense on Pac. I must admit, I've been watching a lot of AEW Dark recently, and some of the jobbers there recently have had some cracking matches. I mean, is it Alan Angles or Alan Angels? He's been fantastic. His match against Phoenix was possibly one of AEW's best ever matches. I think it was amazing. Nice takedown there by Mox, and then dropping the elbow right into the face of El Botcho into the pin. One. Only a one count. Don't forget we still have the AEW Hardcore Championship match for you tonight. Pentagon defending against Jimmy Havoc and Andy Williams. Nice headlock here by Mox. Released now by Botcho, but Mox has him. Nice takedown. Mox now bringing Botcho back up to a seated base, twisting the head. Really wrenching that head, slamming it into the mat. Mox now props Botcho up against the ropes, sends him off, but getting that forearm. But Mox comes springing back into, of course, that strong clothesline. Bringing Botcho back up now, twisting the head. Really wrenching that head. Mox now standing, catches him, into that big paradigm shift, the lifting version, slamming him headfirst into the mat. And Moxley does pick up the strong win here against El Botcho. Right, so Moxley and Pac, which is quite nice at the moment to see that they're both still at the top of the rankings. Both on +7 as well, so they're both looking pretty good. Of course, Moxley with a 9+ and 2-, and Pac with the 7+ 0-. Pac, the only person in AEW, bar Preston Vance, who made his debut last week, to have that. Well, Botcho gets his 5th loss out of 5 matches, which secures his place rock solid bottom of the rankings. And here we go then, 6-man elimination tag action. We have got local talent who you can't sleep on, to be honest, because although being dodgy jobbers, have had a big victory so far in this universe mode against Dynasty. So it was a massive win for them against, of course, the team of Brodie Lee, the Exalted One himself, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson of the Dark Order. They need a bit of a win, don't they, really? I mean, Brodie, we just saw him lose a match against Cody on Dynamite this week, which for a chance to face off for the TNT Championship at Double or Nothing. And, of course, the Dark Order also not doing great in the tag team division either. We're currently sitting on 0 points with 2 wins and 2 draws. So this would be a big one for them if they could pull this off. The tag team division's looking interesting because we actually only have 5 teams and a plus. And we have 2 teams on a neutral. So Dark Order and the Gun Club both on 0. The Revolt, Hybrid 2, Best Friends, the Lucha Brothers and Dynasty all on a plus. Then the Young Bucks, Private Party, SCU, Natural Nightmares, Reynolds and Silver, the Jurassic Express, Proud and Powerful, and the Butcher and the Blade are all on a minus. So the tag team division is looking pretty crazy at the moment. And of course the Revolt do have that big opportunity at Double or Nothing to walk out with the tag team championships as they face off against the Best Friends. It's actually a good reminder, actually. I didn't change the tag team rankings after the tag team match recently. So Local Talent currently sits on 1 win, 1 loss as well. So they're looking pretty good overall. Oh, what a kick there by big old Brodie. Of course, really takes a lot of his character from the legendary Bruiser Brodie. Which, if you've not watched Dark Side of the Ring, watch the Bruiser Brodie episode of Dark Side of the Ring. It is some of the craziest stuff you'll ever hear. It really is. And it shows how dodgy not just wrestling is, but certain countries as well. I don't know if that's racist, I'm not sure. Either way. Attempt here by Terry King. Nice DDT. Of course, Local Talent is Terry King, the man with the long blonde hair. We've got Ron Jonson, who's currently sat up, and then we have got LSD in the green. I mean, Ellis, E-L-L-I-S. D, D-E-E. Pretty funky. Is that our first elimination? LSD's gone. LSD is gone. And now Brodie trying to get a submission here on Terry King. Ron Jonson just slamming the face of Stu Grayson and Brodie Lee, Mr. Brodie Lee. As I said on Dynamite, massive fan of this lad, I really am. I've liked him. Wow, look at that. Evil Uno just destroying him. Pin here by Brodie. Only a 2 count though on Terry King. Uno taking Ron Jonson up into that sit-out powerbomb. Before dumping Terry King to the outside. Nice DDT there by Brodie Lee. Brings Terry King back up to a standing base. Nice slam in the face of King into the mat there by Brodie. And it's only a matter of time here. It's 3-on-2, isn't it, really? So it should only be a matter of time before, of course, the Dark Order do come out on top of this one. If they don't from this point in time, it's going to be an incredible result here for, of course, Local Talent. We've already seen one, and there's the massive discus lariat there by Mr. Brodie Lee. Into the pin he goes, but wow, Ron Jonson's there to break it up. And Mr. Brodie Lee takes Ron Jonson down instead. 1. Nope. Ah. Is this a bug? This is not good. Terry King's the only man who can save us here. Come on, Terry. Get on your feet. Get on your feet and break that pin. Come on, Terry. I believe in you, Terry. Come on, Terry. You can do it. Get up. There we go. Terry's getting up. Break the pin, Terry. Break it. Break the pin. Save us. Break it. Ah, good old Terry King. Gotta love Terry. I might have to give, like, at some point, we might have to do, like, a jobber special. And we'll give all these jobbers an opportunity to see what they can actually do. I quite like the idea of doing, like a Tough Enough as well. My idea was maybe for you guys to... Maybe we could do that, actually, as part of... I'm getting some new internet pretty soon. So, as of the beginning... Well, as of very soon, hopefully. I might have already started, because I'm a bit ahead on these videos now. Looking to do some streaming. Maybe... we could do, if you guys are on PlayStation, we could do like a Tough Enough. So you guys could create some cores. We could pit them against each other, and the winning core will get a chance to become an AEW jobber. I quite like that idea, because I've randomly created all these guys. I'd be interested what you guys can come up with. Some interesting looking and sounding people with good movesets and that sort of stuff. That's a possibility for the future. I like that idea, actually. We'll have to see how well streaming goes, I suppose. That's going to be the big question. Brodie slamming the face of Ron Jonson into the ring steps on the outside. It can't be too long now before this match does come to a close. Big DDT by Evil Uno on Terry King. Rolls him into the pin. Too close to the ropes, though. Uno once again bringing King back up to his feet. Brodie just slamming and slamming and slamming. Ron Jonson now takes him into a pump handle suplex across the ring. Wow. And now old Mr. Bruiser Brodie Lee with a big discus lariat. Uno drops into the pin to confirm it. But I don't think Ron Johnson's getting back up from that one. He does not. 3-on-1 now then. I might just start doing the rankings now. Get ahead of myself, you know, as you do. So Dark Order are going to go on to +1 from this. This is how confident I am this match is not going to turn around at this point in time. Local Talent goes on to -1. Oh, that's the wrong way around. Press the wrong button. There we go. Oh, at least we've got an extra team now on the old pluses. And then into the singles rankings. So we're going to probably start the women's division after the pay-per-view as well, I think. So Mr. Brodie Lee, who suffered that loss on Dynamite, at least he gets his ranking point back now, goes up to a +3. Well, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson both moving on to a +1. And there's the victory for the Dark Order. I told you it wasn't going to be long, didn't I? And then we're going to see Ron Jonson, Terry King, and LSD suffering another loss, which puts them all down to a -2 in the rankings. The rankings are finally starting to look the way they should do, I think. The jobbers are starting to drop to the bottom, which is good. That's where I want them to be. Makes more sense that way, doesn't it? Like I say, we'll do a ranking episode after Double or Nothing. I'll show you the full rankings. And I think you'll be surprised where some people are currently positioned, to be honest with you. Great win then for the Dark Order. They needed that. Let's move on tonight as we're going to see Jungle Boy in action. And here we go then, Jungle Boy in action against El Mago. Jungle Boy is not doing great so far in the rankings. He currently sits quite low down on a -3. The whole of Jurassic Express actually not looking too good. He's on -3, Luchasaurus on -2, and Marco Stunt on -2. So they do need something. I am aware at the moment, I know I keep really bigging this guy up all the time, but Diffract is currently making a Jungle Boy, Marco Stunt, and Luchasaurus, which is going to be fantastic for us. It's really going to improve the quality, because those are the 3 guys that I want to use more of. But, I mean, this core isn't bad, but I think it just doesn't quite look the way I want it to look, if that makes sense. It looks, you can tell it's Jungle Boy, but it doesn't really look that much like Jungle Boy. Does that make any sense? I don't know. But once we get the real ones in, the Diffract cores, we're going to have a cracking setup, I think. Only a 1 count. Jungle Boy would love to get this here tonight. Like I say, he needs to move his way up the rankings. And he'll also be someone considering himself as possibly to be part of the Cruiserweight Championship match at Double or Nothing. Of course, 8-man invitational elimination match. So, should be interesting to see who turns up. I think I want to change. I'm going to change one. Sorry, there's me said it's interesting to see who turns up, and there's me changing the names of who's going to be in the match. Just ignore that happened. Yes, it's going to be a pretty fun one, I think. And of course, don't forget, still tonight after this one, we'll have a main event. Triple Threat Hardcore Championship match. Pentagon defending against Jimmy Havoc and the Butcher Andy Williams. Jungle Boy dropping to the outside. El Mago in the rankings. Let's talk about him as well. Let's just not ignore him like he's not even here. Currently sat on -3. A loss here would put him second from bottom, just ahead of El Botcho, who we saw earlier on tonight lose to Jon Moxley. What do you think about having 5 matches on Dark? I think I quite like it, to be honest, because we're going to have a lot of squash matches. I think having 5 matches on Dark is probably a wise thing to do. Nice jawbreaker there by Jungle Boy, taking down El Mago. Nice elbow right in the head by El Mago, and taken down by Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy now dragging El Mago across the ring. Drops into a pin. Feet up, 1. Only a 1 count. Nobody ever wins with that. Nobody ever wins. El Mago now sending Jungle Boy into the corner, but El Mago, I don't know what just happened there, to be honest. There was a bit of a weird... Oh my god. Oh my god. El Mago just destroyed his own bumhole there. Landing perfectly on it. That is a way, actually being in all seriousness, that is a way to really damage your coccyx, which is the little bone or cartilage area right at the base of your spine. I've seen it before. I had a friend who did ice skating once, and she fell on her backside, and she was in agony for months and months and months by damaging that area. And that's exactly what El Mago could. He's not the smallest luchador in the world, let's face it. And he may have just destroyed his own anus. And he's destroyed his own career here as he loses the match here to Jungle Boy, who now moves up to a -2 in the rankings, whereas El Mago drops down to a -4. Big win there for Jungle Boy. He needed that. Really, really needed that to start to move him in the right direction in these rankings. Like I say, once we get the really good cause, I think it'd be pretty cool to maybe do some 6-man tag action, get Marco Stunt involved with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, and see if we can start to build him up a little bit, because I want to see Luchasaurus do well as well. I'm not quite sure where I see Luchasaurus at this point, though. Same as in AEW, I mean, they seem to be putting him over as a really strong force, but is he ever going to get a singles run at maybe the TNT Championship? It's yet to be seen, I suppose. And there it is then, the AEW Hardcore Championship up for grabs here tonight. Pentagon making his second defense. Of course, he defended it a few weeks back. I think it was the first episode of Dynamite after the pay-per-view, wasn't it? I'm not sure. Was it after Blood and Guts, or was it more recent? I think it was more recent, actually. Yeah, it was on last week's Dynamite. He defeated Michael Nakazawa in a tables match to defend it. But this should be a step up now. Triple threat match involving, well, the Butcher, Andy Williams, who's a big guy. And, of course, you've got the sheer resilience of Jimmy Havoc. This should be an interesting one. The first time we're going to see Andy Williams in singles competition as well. Andy Williams is currently on -3 in the rankings, which is not good for him at all. I don't know how I feel about the Butcher and the Blade, to be honest. I want him to do well. Not, like, too well, but I want him to be that sort of mid-level tag team. I mean, if I do some real talk here for a second, I think the Revolt, Best Friends, Lucha Brothers, Dark Order, the Young Bucks, and SCU should be, and Proud and Powerful, should be sort of like the top-level tag teams. Then you're going to have like the Hybrid 2, Superbad Squad, which is the team we haven't used as yet, Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc. Possibly Private Party, Natural Nightmares and Jurassic Express and the Butcher and the Blade are sort of like the mid-range tag teams. And on the lower end, you're going to have teams like the Gun Club and Reynolds and Silver. So that's how I sort of see it in my mind. But at the moment, Butcher and the Blade are currently bottom of the tag team ranking, so they need a little bit of help, I think. Maybe we'll give them a jobber match on Dark after the pay-per-view. I think I might already have... I've already got that planned in for a match already. Okay. There we go. See? I'm nothing if not consistent, I suppose. I've got a match I really want to do at Bash of the Beach as well. Bash of the Beach, by the way, will be next month's mid-month pay-per-view. Well, not pay-per-view, but special show. And there is going to be... it's going to be a big one, actually, because there is going to be an AEW Championship match there. Because we are going to copy Real Life, and we're going to have a 8-man ladder match at AEW's Double or Nothing this week, and the winner of that ladder match will get the AEW champion at Bash of the Beach. So it should be a very interesting one. Talking of interesting, can Pentagon defend his championship for the second time here tonight, or will we see a brand new hardcore champion? I mean, I feel like Andy Williams will probably be the one that's least likely to come out on top of this one, but you never know. Triple threat rules really does throw a wild card into this. And Pentagon's quite high up in the rankings. If he was to lose his belt here tonight, I don't think it would affect him too much. If anything, it might open some different doors for him, because I'm not a fan of having double champions, as I may have mentioned several times before. Here's a pin by Jimmy Havoc. One. Only a 1 count. Big clubbing blow to the back of the head there by Andy Williams, who now has Jimmy Havoc throttled up into a choke slam. Oh, my drink's empty. That's annoying. I got really thirsty there for a second. Andy Williams now stalking and slamming down Jimmy Havoc. This could be brand new hardcore champion here, you know. Oh my god, it's only a 2 count. What a win that would be for Andy Williams, you know. I mean, I don't know where I see him doing much in the future. Like I said, I think Braxton Sutter's someone who could be involved in the Cruiserweight division, Andy Williams in the Hardcore division, but this is pretty funky. There is the throw by Williams, who's actually dominating this match at the moment, really using his strength advantage against the smaller Pentagon and Jimmy Havoc. However, will his size cause him to tire a little bit earlier than the other two? Which is the big question I think a lot of people are going to ask, as Pentagon taking Williams down. Pentagon now brings Jimmy Havoc up, and stiff clothesline followed by a second. And another big clothesline by Pentagon. Boot in the gut of Jimmy Havoc, now looking for that package. Boom. Drops him hard into the pin. Andy Williams is back up on his feet, but I don't know if he'll get in the ring quick enough. He does just get there. I don't think Havoc was kicking out of that, you know. Oh, what a super kick by Pentagon. Stamping on the arm now of Andy Williams before looking... Well, he loves this move, doesn't he? Looking to break the arm of Andy Williams. Boom. Wow. Big arm breaker. And yeah, the Lucha Brothers, again, tag team division. I mean, they're quite high up in the tag team rankings. Oh, Pentagon wins it. Wow. I weren't expecting him to get the win from that maneuver, to be honest, but he has done. And that actually drops Andy Williams very low down the rankings. Now he goes to -4, which puts him joint 1 from bottom alongside El Mago, with only El Botcho below them. Right, so Jimmy Havoc now moves to 0 after that loss. And Pentagon moves up to +7, which puts him equal with Pac and Jon Moxley at the top of the rankings, which is interesting. Very interesting, actually. And there we go. End of the night. We've seen some pretty good matches here tonight, but of course the next show is going to be where it's all going to be at. The next show will be AEW's Double or Nothing. We're going to see a brand new Cruiserweight champion crowned. We're going to see the Tag Team Championships being defended for the first time. Best Friend versus The Revolt. First ever TNT Championship crowned between Jericho and Cody. And of course that big AEW Championship match, Pac versus Jon Moxley. As well as others as well. Anyway, my work phone's ringing, so I'm going to say goodnight and goodbye.